seller, and this is the second big event, boxing event that is, in the Riyadh season. As we all know, the first one was opened by the Battle of the Badness, and here we have now the Day of Reckoning. Reckoning for some of the best fighters in the world, competing on probably what is becoming the biggest stage in the world as far as big events are concerned. So we're really pleased to be here. We're really pleased to working with everybody to make these events happen. And I would also like to thank our fellow promoters, Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn, 258 Management, AJ Boxing, Shelley Finkel, Top Rank, Salisa Promotions, Wasserman Boxing, and SES Boxing. Thank you for all your cooperation in working with us to make this super event happen. 10 of the top 15 heavyweight fighters in the world are fighting on this card, which is unknown. Nothing like this has happened before. This is a tremendous advert for boxing and certainly for the heavyweight division. We've also got two fabulous fights featuring great fighters, Dimitri Bivol, who's fighting Lyndon Arthur, and we've got Jai Opatay against Ellis Soro. So this is a fabulous card. And I'm telling you, Saturday night is going to be something very special.
Frank, you've been in the game for over 40 years promoting boxing. Where does this period rank? It feels like we are entering another kind of golden era with Riyadh season.
Well, it does. I mean, I've been involved in boxing now for nearly 47 years. And I know you won't think that to look at me, but 47 years I've been doing this now. And this has just become something else. This is mind-blowing. You know, I thought I'd seen everything, and I haven't. You know, each time we sit down with the powers that be here, we sit down with His Excellency and we discuss fights, and he tells us what he wants. You know, he tells Queensbury and says to Gold Star, look, you guys, this is what we want to do. Can we do this? We discuss the fights, and this is our mission, to go out and make them happen. And we've made this happen. Very short space of time. With all the cooperation I said of everybody, this is something unique, unusual, and I believe it's going to be the future. I believe we will get more of these type of events happening certainly next year. We've got a great fight happening on the 17th of February, again part of the Riyadh season. The unification fight, first time ever 4 belts are going to be on the line between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. That again is a fabulous event. We're ending the year with this. This is something extra. And all these heavyweights on this card, every one of them will want to be part of what's happening in the future. Want to be part of seeing, and all their eyes will be on Tyson Fury and Usyk, and how they can jockey into position to fight the winner down the road. So this is going to be very competitive. Competitive fights on a very competitive card. This is something special. I think we are at this moment in time sitting in the world capital of boxing. That's what this has become. The Riyadh season will be putting on all the big fights that matter. That is what is happening, and it's just going from strength to strength. And me at Queensbury, we are delighted to be part of it, and I know Spencer Brown, on behalf of Gold Star, also feels the same way.
Thank you very much, Frank Warren. Well, let's start getting through some of these incredible fights. There are 6 heavyweight fights on Saturday night, and the first one that we're going to talk about is a quite good one. I mean, they're all very good ones, but we've got unbeaten, highly rated Cuban heavyweight Frank Sanchez taking on the man here sat to my right, Mr. Junior Farr, and this fight is brought to you in association with DeBella Entertainment and Warriors Boxing. Junior, I'm going to come to you. You've been great fun this week. It looks like you've enjoyed it. You seem relaxed. You seem cool. Are you ready for a big fight Saturday night?
Of course. I mean, since we've landed, it's been nothing but a pleasure to be here. You know, this seems like this is where our sport is going. I'm taking it all in. It's been a pleasure since I've been here. It's been hard work to get here, and I just can't wait for Saturday night, man, because I finally get to fight.
And what do you think of Frank Sanchez? I mean, look, he's an unbeaten Cuban. Not a lot of people like to fight unbeaten Cuban heavyweights who are pretty good, but you're taking him on.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I'm not kidding myself. This guy's a good boxer. He's got good skills. I trust my team. I trust my game plan. I trust myself. I trust that I'm going to get there on the night. I'm going to peak at the right time. I'm going to bring the best version of myself and get him out of there.
Get him out of there?
Well, win by any means necessary.
Oh, I think you sort of half predict a KO there, Mr. Junior Fire. Listen, also on this show you have Jai Opataya, you have Joseph Parker, 3 Polynesian guys. It must be quite a proud moment for you guys.
Oh yeah, it's such a proud moment, and it's awesome to think of the future generations that are watching guys like us and watching people who the kids back home, they are seeing people that look like them perform on such a big stage. It's such a great honor, and if we can do it, they can definitely do it better than us. So, you know, huge things going to come from our side of the world.
That's amazing. Listen, final one, Junior. You've been, not for the first time, you've been in camp with Deontay Wilder. How has that been, and how has that helped you prepare for this fight?
Yeah, Deontay Wilder, no secret with him, you know. The man hits hard. And you have to be sharp every second that you're in there with him. And that's exactly what I'm planning to do when I'm in there with Frank Sanchez. I need to be sharp every second that I'm in there with him, keep my wits about me, stick to the game plan, and come away with the win.
All right, thank you very much, Junior Farr. Let's bring in his opponent, unbeaten Frank Sanchez, who has a translator with him as well. Frank Sanchez, great to see you. Tell us how you're feeling heading into this. I saw you out for a Battle of the Baddest for Fury and Ngannou. You look like you enjoyed it, and now you get your chance on this stage. Tell us how you feel.
¿Cómo te sientes estar aquí y de poder pelear en una cartelera como esta? Y tú sabes, ¿cómo te sientes estar esta semana que estás acá?
Nada, me siento muy bien de participar aquí en esta cartelera y agradecido con todas las personas que han hecho aquí, han trabajado para hacer este evento tan grande, y nada, agradecido de estar aquí. Vengo con todo, vengo a ganar, vengo a dar buen show y nada, seguir adelante.
He's really enjoyed his time here. To him, it's an honor to be here and fight in such a major card. He felt nothing but great people here. And, you know, he's just excited to be here and get this fight going. You know, he just wants to thank everybody that's involved making this happen.
And Frank, tell us what you think of your opponent here, Junior Farr.
¿Qué es lo que tú crees de tu oponente, Junior Farr?
Junior Farr, he visto buen peleador, he visto varias peleas de él. Pues es buen peleador, pero yo vengo bien preparado, vengo a ganar y nada, seguir adelante en mi carrera. Y dar buen espectáculo, que es lo que se espera.
He's seen tapes of Junior Farr. He's a good fighter, you know. He's a very good fighter, but he's very well prepared. Frank, he's coming here to, you know, to shine and to show the whole world who he is. So, you know, other than that, you know, he's in great shape, ready to go.
And do you plan to knock him out on Saturday?
Sí, principalmente vengo a ganar, y si se viene el knockout, pues en el momento que venga, pues lo voy a aprovechar y lo voy a noquear.
He's coming here, you know, to win, number one. The knockout comes, it comes. He never looks for it. It comes by itself. He doesn't, you know, try to look for a knockout, but if it comes, it comes. He's coming here to win.
Thank you very much, Frank Sanchez. 2 brilliant heavyweights, very much coming to win. And let's continue in the heavyweight division, a fight that has so much on the line. The IBF mandatory challenger, Filip Hrgović, putting his status on the line against the hard-hitting Australian Mark Damori. Now, this fight, we've got Keith Connolly, who's with us as well, who I'm actually going to come to first. Keith, you've been with Filip Hrgović for a little while now. It feels like he's taking on all the risk in this fight on Saturday night. Talk to us about it.
Well, anytime you have a fight like this on a big event, there's risk, but with risk comes big reward. I expect Filip Saturday to put on a tremendous performance and to stamp his mark as far as being one of the best heavyweights in the division going into his title shot next.
And what is your ideal kind of next couple of fights for Filip Hrgović? You talk about how he's in that position. How do you see the chips falling? How do you see this playing out?
I think the most likely scenario is after a tremendous victory on Saturday, a big knockout win. The winner of the Usyk Tyson Fury fight is mandated to fight Philippe. I would think they'll probably vacate the title and then it'll go down to the next person in the ratings that's available. It doesn't really matter who it's going to be. My guy is going to come out on top in a few months and be the next heavyweight champion in the world.
Okay, well, let's bring in the man who's looking to destroy all of those plans. Mark Demori, you have the task in front of you of Filip Hrgović. At the launch press conference, you talked about how you're looking to rupture spleens when you get in there. You were pretty graphic with what you said. Tell us what's on your mind heading into this fight just hours away now.
Hrgović is obviously a big favourite. He's a big, strong guy, good long punches, good chin. Every man is human, every man has organs. With my kind of power, of course it's simple. I'm not going to win this on points. I'm going to start in fourth gear. The pressure's on him. He's overlooking me. I'd overlook me if I was him too. I'm going to try and break him in half and live by the sword, die by the sword.
Well, I heard that you've been breaking ribs and dropping people with body shots in sparring. It sounds like you are very much ready for this.
Yeah, I've prepared well. Pressure's on him. I have zero pressure. I'm not going to say I enjoy fight week, but I'm prepared. The short camp probably worked in my favour. I didn't have a chance to overtrain or overstress or get sick because I overdid it. The short camp means I'm strong, I'm explosive, and it's a 10-round scheduled fight. I have absolutely no desire to go 10 rounds. I've got arms of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm not going to out-jab him. I'm going to get in close and I'm going to try and break him in half. And that's the only way it's going to happen, and that's the way I'm going to try.
Well, listen, Mark, he's got 13 knockouts from his 16 wins. Can you afford to go toe-to-toe with Filip Hrgović?
It's the only chance I have. I'm not here to go rounds. I'm not here to do my best. I'm here to try and break him in half. And if I can't and he knocks me out, good luck to him and his career. Croatia's got a very good fighter in Filip Hrgović. I lived in Croatia 10 years. I know their style. I know how technical they are. I'm very well aware of what I'm up against, but I'm hard to read. I've got a strange style, and in those first few rounds before he finds his timing, that's when I have a chance.
Well, let's bring in Filip Hrgović. Filip, it sounds like you have an opponent here who is very much going to stick it on you from the opening bell. How does that sound to you?
Let's get down to business. Look, I had planned with this guy to let him box few rounds, but because of these nasty words, I will need to punish him earlier. And he has some Croatian roots, and I had planned to be nice with him, but this changed everything, man. I'll need to punish this guy really, really bad, like he stole something. So that's the plan. I would like to say thanks to everyone involved in this event. Thanks to Saudi Arabia, to the Prince, to His Excellency, to all promoters. I'm glad to be part of this. I'm grateful for this opportunity. And with God's help, I'm going for the win on Saturday and looking forward to a lot of big fights in front of me.
Well, let me just give Mark Demori the opportunity to respond there. I mean, he's talked about how your words essentially are going to lead to more of a beating on Saturday night. That is the vibe we're getting from Filip Hrgović. Mark, is there anything you want to look down the table and tell Filip?
I expect him to try and make a big statement. That's what he's here to do. I've been brought in, there's a script. It's completely up to me to try and flip it. He should be trying to knock me out. He should be trying to hurt me. It's not the Soccer World Cup. This is a fight. We're gladiators, and we shake hands and we go for it.
It's personal now.
Savage words from Filip Hrgović. Filip, look, before I move on, I just want to ask you one thing. You have that IBF mandatory position. If you come through on Saturday night, who do you think you will fight for a world title?
I think anyone who I'm gonna fight, I will beat. I don't know, there's many different scenarios. I should fight winner of Fury-Usyk fight, but they have a chance to vacate the title, and there's plenty of options. So I don't really know, but whoever's gonna be, I'm gonna win the title next year. With God's help, become a first Croatian world champion in the history. And my career is beginning next year.
Well, before we move on, let me just bring in Frank Warren here. Frank, we've just, I think that's whet the appetite a little bit there. Mark Demori and Filip Hrgovic. Filip's in a position where, look, he could have some big nights ahead of him. Give us your thoughts.
Well, like I say, the winner of any of these fights tonight, whoever wins on Saturday, whoever wins these fights, are going to be in the mix for the big title fights. You know, the winner of this fight will be the IBF mandatory, and it'll be interesting to see what happens after the big fight on the 17th of February between Tyson and Usyk. We will then see what develops after that. But one thing's for sure, all the fights, including the fight between Mark and Filip, all of them are meaningful fights. They all mean something. And it means for the winner a chance to really go on and be involved in some real big dramatic fights here in the kingdom.
Well, the next fight we're going to discuss, thank you Frank, thank you Filip, thank you Mark. The next fight that we will discuss is a fight that certainly means something. Two unbeaten cruiserweights put it all on the line. The Ring Magazine cruiserweight champion, widely seen as the best in the division, Jai Opetaia. He's unbeaten. He takes on another unbeaten cruiserweight, Ellis Soro from London. This fight is brought to you in association with Matchroom Boxing and Tasman Fighters. And at this point, I'll bring in Mick Francis from Tasman Fighters. Mick, you've been with our man here, Jai Opetaia, throughout his career. You've guided him to where he is. It feels like he's got some huge nights ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you for the government of Saudi Arabia and all the promoters putting this show on. It's something that Jai and Aussie boxing needs. Look, Jai's been looking for this opportunity for the last couple of years, and we appreciate the opportunity to fight on the card.
And do you feel as though this is the first of a few fights for Jai Opetaia here? Is that the plan?
Oh yeah, that's definitely the plan. So, we got this fight, and there's another fight probably in March. So Jai will be on that as well, and hopefully bring in a major fight back here.
Thank you very much, Mick. Let's bring in Frank Warren here. Of course, Ellis Soro is your man. You've delivered really the ultimate opportunity here. If you are a cruiserweight, he's got a shot at the top dog.
He certainly has. You know, Ellis is undefeated. He's managed by Martin Bowers and trained by him. He's a very dangerous fighter. He's a big puncher, as we see certainly in his last fight as well. The power that he has. He's not coming to make up the numbers, I can assure you. This is a massive opportunity for him, and anybody who takes fights as a foregone conclusion or easy and will be easy are wrong. It doesn't always work out like that. There will be upsets on this card. 8 fights on the card, there will be upsets. There's no doubt about that. And Ellis is all there. The opportunity is there for him to go and try and seize it with both hands. He has a fantastic, you couldn't get any better than that. He has a fantastic opportunity to fight a very, very good operator in Jai, who's, a lot of people think very highly of him, and quite rightly so. But let me tell you, he will come to fight our man, and he will give you a great fight, no doubt about that. I'm not fighting.
Well, let's bring in Ellis Soro here. Ellis, at the end of your last fight, it was at York Hall. 13 of your 17 fights have been at York Hall, the iconic venue in East End London. But you did say, look, I want to get out of York Hall. Welcome to Riyadh. Welcome to the biggest stage of them all. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I got my wish. When I said that, I was anticipating maybe Copper Box or the O2, and then the phone call came for Saudi. So no, I'm just focused on Saturday at the moment. Obviously, like I've been saying all week, it's a massive opportunity for me. I'm going to take it with both hands.
Everything seems to move quite quickly in your career. It was 3 amateur fights, I believe, and then suddenly you're a pro. Suddenly you're in that boxer tournaments, suddenly you've got a title, suddenly you're headlining, now suddenly you, out of nowhere, you're challenging the main guy in the division, but you've always kept calm. That demeanour, that mentality, how key is all of that in your success?
I don't really know. This is just how I've always been, just calm and collected. I think that's just from my life outside the ring and my journey. But yeah, I just keep my cool and focus on the task ahead, and that's it really.
You told me before that Jai Opetaia wasn't really on your radar, actually. You were going like the WBO route. If anything, you were going towards the WBO champion. But he's got to be on your radar now. He has sat just down the table there. What does your radar tell you about Jai Opetaia?
He's a great fighter. You know, like I said, he wasn't on my radar. I was a fan of him, fan of his style when I watched him against Breeders. He's got great footwork, great hand speed. He's game, he can take a shot. He's a great fighter, but he'll definitely be able to test me, and I kind of look forward to that, to be honest.
What's your main advantage on Saturday?
Ooh, I just think my will to win. Obviously, he's going to have the same thing as well, but like that's kind of where my belief is, like, you know, my will to win and my self-belief in myself and my skills.
Well, let's bring in the Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion, Jai Opetaia. Jai, for you, it's been an eventful week. There's been a lot of going on. You've had situations, political, I guess, situations in boxing, as can happen. But you've kept really, really focused. Every time I've seen you talk, you've had that same mentality. Has it been difficult keeping your mind on this fight on Saturday?
Not at all. You know, I'm pumped. I'm pumped to be here. I feel like this is a massive thing for boxing in itself. You know, shout out to Your Excellency for being the man we need for these fights to happen. You know, putting the politics aside and the best fight the best. You know, this is a massive change. And the name Opetaia will have its print on it. You know what I mean? And I'm here to make a statement.
Well, tell me this. With Ellis Sora here, you talk about how you respect him. There's no doubt that you respect him. You've talked about how actually you see him as the guy that you were. He's in your position. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Definitely, I see him, you know, this is his chance. This is his chance to become a world champion. You know, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And here I am. So I'm expecting the best version of him. I've prepared for the best version of him. Man, I'm ready to go to war.
I think you've only faced off once with Ellis. What sort of energy are you getting from him?
Yeah, he's a pretty calm dude, you know, but who cares what energy he's giving off? I'm worried about my own energy, my own camp, you know, everything I got to do. It doesn't matter what he's giving off.
And you said at the launch press conference that you wanted to remind the world who the Cruiserweight King is. Does that mean it needs to be a devastating knockout to tell the world who you are?
It doesn't have to be a knockout, it's just got to be a great performance, you know, a great display of boxing skills. I believe this is just another step closer to becoming the undisputed Cruiserweight King, and I cannot wait for the next step.
One final one before I let you go, Jai. I've heard you talk about moving up to heavyweight at one day. You've been around a lot of heavyweights today in the build-up to all of this. How do they shape up to you, and do you think you can hang in the heavyweight division?
I know I can hang in the heavyweight division, but right now I've got, you know, my own goals. I've got a lot of boxes to tick as a cruiserweight, and until they're ticked, then we'll worry about that later.
Thank you very much, Jai Opetaia. Can't wait for that fight. 2 unbeaten cruiserweights slug it out on Saturday night. Someone's O has got to go. Well, someone's O's got to go in this final heavyweight fight that we will discuss up here at this top table. The Russian monster, unbeaten Arslanbek Makhmudov, takes on the 2-time European heavyweight champion Agit Kabayel, who is also undefeated. Now, this fight is brought to you in association with Top Rank Incorporated, Eye of the Tiger Promotions, SES and Blanco Sports. And I'm going to start with Agit Kabayel. Agit, it feels like a long time ago that you had that win over Derek Chisora, probably the best win of your career so far. You've been linked to big fights with Tyson Fury, with Anthony Joshua, and now you've got this monster in front of you. Tell us what's going on.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I'm ready, you know. But I know maybe 3 months before I fight with AJ, 2 years before I fight with Tyson Fury, and now I fight with Arslanbek. You know, I'm ready for the fight. We train good for the fight. Very, very good training camp for the fight. And yeah, I feel good.
Do you see this as the biggest test of your career?
Yes, of course. Maybe this is my biggest challenge in my career. I respect Aslanbek. He's a good opponent. He's a strong guy. And I think for him it's also the big challenge in his career. And we see on Saturday night.
I saw on your Instagram when you left to come to Riyadh, you put up a team photo and you said, all the hard work is finished now, and now it's all about the fun. But how can it be fun fighting that guy?
Yes, you know, everything guy know me makes the sport. You know, this training camp. This camp is very hard. I have a very good training partner. I have a very good sparring partner. It was very hard, and I think this is only, you know, it's like a joke. This is a fun part.
Listen, a lot of people look at Makhmudov and they see this big, scary guy. And you can see him there, he's got his hood up. I mean, I'm pretty scared looking over. But when you look over at him, what do you see, Ajit?
Yeah, I don't know. We have the same friends. I respect him. You know, we make 80 fight win. No, I'm a sportman. I'm not making a big trash talk. I respect him. And Saturday night we come not too much for the talk. You know, we come only for the fights.
All right, thank you, Ajit. Let's bring in Aslanbek Makhmudov. It's another fight in Riyadh. The people here seem to absolutely love you. Are you going to put on a show on Saturday? Are you ready to put on a big show on Saturday back in Riyadh?
Yes, for sure. First of all, assalamu alaikum, Riyadh. And I want to say thank you very much for this opportunity. Riyadh season and Turkey, Al Sheikh. Yes, of course I'm ready. Of course I'm ready. That's why I'm here. Great opportunity for me. I need kind of this fight. I need this kind of this opponent. I respect him a lot. But Saturday, sorry guys, I go for destroy, like usually I do. It's my job.
And what do you think of Kabayao? Can he give you a good test? What do you think?
Exactly, it's top guy. Never lost. Good record, good boxing skills. That's ready for kind of this opponent. I need this kind of this opponent, yes.
Well, nobody has been able to beat him yet. What makes you think you can? What makes you different?
We'll see Saturday with a difference. Of course, a difference. I'm here for win. For that, that's my big difference, yes.
Let me ask you one final thing, Aslanbek. I watched an interview with you the other day. You said if you lock any heavyweight in a room with me, it's only going to be you that walks out of that room. You truly believe you are the best heavyweight on the planet?
No, I said if somebody close me with any heavyweight in one room, not just boxing, I said, just like, I don't think so somebody can survive with me.
All right.
Yeah.
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Thank you so much,
It's
Aslanbek.
good message, yeah.
Thank you, Aslanbek Makhmudov. Thank you to everyone up here at the top table. We're going to get we're going to get some face-offs. We're going to get a group photo down the front here as well, and we'll be back very shortly for part 2 of today's two-part amazing, monumental set of press conferences. Thank you.
Sparks didn't exactly fly in that presser. It was never going to be. There are fighters up there that, you know, don't do the trash talk thing, but there's fighters that we know on that top table that deliver when they're in the ring. So you can't have it every way, can you?
Yeah, look, do you know what? I don't mind it because I know that some of these fights are going to deliver. So the talking's done. They've been doing a lot of press. They're just itching to get in there. There's lots of itchy knuckles for sure.
Yeah, there certainly is. One of those itchy knuckles is Jaya Pataya, who was one of the more vocal up there. I mean, look, you've been watching boxing for years, Sergio. When you look at him as a southpaw cruiserweight, I mean, we've compared him to Usyk. Just how good is Jaya Pataya?
Incredible, yes. Not good. I mean, this guy, I watch him. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've been hearing the name, but finally I've been studying him the last couple of weeks. This guy is incredible. A mix of Dimitri Bivol and Usyk. I mean, he has the power, the footwork, the speed, the IQ. Very special fighter. I'm curious. I'm really excited to see him tonight.
Here we are, the face-offs. This is what I like. This is scrap the whole press conference. Just do face-offs. for me. Frank Sanchez Jr. for obviously Frank Sanchez, unbeaten Cuban. Not great last time out, but I think one of the most avoided heavyweights, I think.
And potentially one of the best. Very, very good on the front foot, on the back foot. Razor sharp reflexes. Junior Fa has to bring his absolute best if he's got any chance Saturday night.
Fair to say that, Sergio, one of the avoided heavyweights, almost a bit like Luis Ortiz coming up. Didn't really get the opportunity until he fought Deontay Wilder. Frank Sanchez searching for that as well. You can say no, Sergio. You can disagree. It's okay.
Yeah, avoided is a strong word. Okay. Avoided is a strong word.
All right, big boy here, Filip Hrgović. Now, look, I think we need to see a better Filip Hrgović than we have seen in his last couple of outings, and we should see it against Mark Demori. I mean,
he has to get the job done inside 4 rounds, in my opinion. You know, a couple of contentious fights. Didn't look great against McKean. Certainly didn't look good against Zhang. He has to look good on this card against Demori, who, look, pressure's off. He needs to just go in there, get on the chest of Hrgović, which is easier said than done, and try and shock the world.
Yeah, #1 ranked by the IBF is Filip Hrgović. Obviously, he wants his crack at the winner of Fury Usyk. I don't know if he'll get that, but surely it's a big, big fight for Hrgović next year. Has to be.
Yeah, for sure. Has to be a big world title fight. I don't think he'll settle for anything less, Addy.
Yeah, indeed. All right, here we go. Jar Pataya, former IBF Cruiserweight champion, ring champion against Ellis Zorro. I mean, that's a guy there. That's scary, isn't it? That is scary, Jar Pataya. Ellis Zorro, unbeaten though, is coming into this with some confidence. Had a fight in October. We asked him yesterday about the fight camp, the turnaround. Not a long time to prepare for Jar Pataya. It's going to be hard, but with big risks come big rewards.
Man, he's seriously good fighter is off the tie. I'm so impressed with him against Jordan Thompson. But Ellis Zorro, I like what I'm hearing. He's confident, he's unfazed, but the task in front of him is huge.
Yeah, it is a big one. And I mean, this just goes to show just how stacked this card is, where this is the first portion of the press conference and Jar Pataya is in this bit. You know what I mean? He's not in the second portion, he's in this portion. And then you have, I think, the biggest heavyweight on the card, Arslanbek Makhmudov. I mean, look, sorry. I mean, that's
a scary man right there. That is one scary man.
I've said it's the wrong nickname. He should be called the Lion. He should be called the Monster.
He should be called the Monster. He takes on, though, European champion or former European champion now, Agit Kabayel. That there is a very, very good scrap that I feel like it's going under the radar with this card. 2 unbeaten guys looking to take that next step to genuine world level. All right, so that concludes what is the first part of the press conference. We are going to see the big boys. We are going to see Dimitri Bivol in a few minutes as well. Is this Dev? Oh no, this is. I thought Dev was interrupting me there. No, but we are going to come back to the second portion of the press conference in a few moments. Obviously, Day of Reckoning concludes what is an incredible year for DAZN in 2023. We start 2024 with an absolute banger.
This kid they think is going to be sensational.
The real deal.
A natural-born puncher.
A young star.
But legitimate contender.
Ortiz knockout express. Too big, too strong, too good. Picks up another victim. His 19th knockout and his 19th win.
Yeah, an incredible fight, that one. Virgil Ortiz got up to 154 pounds, takes on the Ghanaian Frederick Lawson. Let's not forget as well, I mean, I think this is a really good fight. Munguia versus John Ryder.
Love this
in the month of January. Edgar Berlanga as well in action. Not a bad January.
Yeah, look, I love the John Ryder fight, Munguia fight. Let me tell you now, John Ryder isn't going in that fight to make up the numbers. He's coming off of a loss to Canelo, but so much confidence he's taken away from it. He now wants to push on. And look, like I say, he's not making up numbers here. He wants to be a world champion.
Yeah. No, not only that, but you got to remember the Munguia's coming off a very taxing physical fight with Derevyanchenko. So add the fact that this is a fighter with over almost 50 fights, you know, and he's going against a fighter that knows how to fight big men in John Ryder, with Callum Smith, with Canelo, some of the biggest, strongest fighters. So I think it's going to be an excellent fight. I can't wait for that fight.
Very quick one about Virgil Ortiz. Obviously, going up to 154 pounds now, Virgil Ortiz. Obviously, he's had this illness outside the ring, and I think could have been one of the best fighters at 147. We wanted that fight with Boots, we didn't get it. What do you make of Virgil going up to 154?
You know, he's been struggling making this weight with 147 pounds. He's a growing kid. I mean, he's been battling this sickness, this rhabdomyolysis that affects.
Well done. I said illness. I knew I couldn't pronounce it. You went well done.
When protein gets in the blood with losing weight, I don't know what it's about. I study I try to study the medical facts about it. It sounds like very dangerous when protein goes into your bloodstream. So anyway, I think it was something that he had to move up. Physically, he just couldn't make the weight anymore. He was always struggling in weight. He's a power punching machine. I mean, he has a 100% knockout ratio. He's going to take that power up. He has wide shoulders. He has the height to distribute that weight and that muscle. He's going to be just fine.
He certainly is going to be just fine. All right, look, we've got the second portion of the press conference. They're just getting the stage ready behind us. All the names are getting put down. Should we talk about what we've got coming up? Dimitri Bivol on that one as well against Lyndon Arthur. Again, it's exciting to see Dimitri Bivol back in action.
I'm excited to see him back in action. He's going to be just fine after a year or so layoff because he has one of the best jabs in boxing, some of the best footwork in boxing. So he's going to be just fine going around the circle, getting the cobwebs out, feeling out his opponent. He knows what he has in front of him. I mean, this is a fighter that, you know, for the last, 8 fights he's gone the distance since he hasn't got a knockout since 2018. So he's accustomed to going the long road, getting that jab and feeling it out. He's going to be just fine.
Yeah, Lyndon Arthur, just the one defeat. That was the Anthony Yard. But obviously, he's been fighting at a much lower level. But you get the opportunity. He's a very big light heavyweight. And you're talking of jabs. Lyndon Arthur's got a very good jab as well.
Yeah, look, we know exactly what Bivol does. Very good fighter. Let's touch on Lyndon Arthur. Good mover. He's patient. Lovely jab. Doesn't waste much. Doesn't get greedy with his shots. And you can't afford to do that with someone like Bivol because if he makes you miss, which he does very well, he'll make you pay. The way he comes back with the right hand. It's an intriguing fight. I think we'll find out how good Lyndon Arthur is. We know how good Bivol is. I still think we can see another level to Bivol, which is frightening. But let's find out how good Lyndon Arthur is.
Certainly is. That's the only non-heavyweight fight on that portion of the card. The big boys are in action. Daniel Dubois versus the very, very big boy. 325 pounds of big Jarrell Miller. And again, I guess the question mark, and we spoke about this at the top, Sergio, we have no idea what Jarrell Miller we're going to see. Is it going to be the Jarrell Miller before his PED suspension or this version of Jarrell Miller we've been seeing now?
You know what? Just like every other fighter, when you get popped once, you get popped twice. Even in another sport, you get popped in kickboxing. This is a man that has gotten accustomed to being on performance enhancing drugs. I'm curious to see how he's going to perform when he's not. We see how his body is. He doesn't look the best in shape. This is a fighter I need to see more of.
The question here, I think, is this a good time or a bad time to fight this man here, Daniel Dubois, who put in a good performance against Usyk? And I feel, from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing,
looks sharp
in his mannerisms, yeah, he believes in himself. There's a lot more maturity shown from Dubois now, and he believes in himself a lot more, that he can hold it with these good guys. Yes, he has suffered some defeats, but there's a lot more experience with this man now, and I have to agree with Mora. I think Miller isn't the same fighter, and
not only that, but Miller. Dubois. He was in there with some of the best, and he got hit and stopped by jabs, by power jabs. Usyk was a power jab from the southpaw stance, and with Joyce, he got hit with a hard punch, a hard jab. Miller's not really a jabber. He's a hook. He's type of a hook or uppercut. He wants to get on the inside. Fast hands for a big boy, but he doesn't really concentrate on that shotgun jab. So it gives Dubois an opportunity to get his reach, his size, his advantage, and really getting the respect out of Miller.
See, I like the way we're all talking about this fight. That's why it's so intriguing, this one, because there are a few question marks, right? I guess Daniel Dubois' mentality. Again, people have labeled him a quitter. I don't agree with that, but it's been labeled. Yeah. And Jarrell Miller coming off PED. So again, that's why I'm saying potentially for me it's fight of the night. This one could be good as well. Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker, right? 2 former champions. They both want to get their belts back, right? This is, and let's be honest, let's not pretend we don't know what's being planned. Wilder versus AJ is out there. We know that's what they want to do. This is a banana skin. This is another banana.
This is the perfect scenario, or example rather, of a banana skin.
Yeah.
Because a banana skin is an opponent who could potentially win, and I really do believe Parker has a chance if he stays switched on. The big word for me for Parker to have success in this fight is discipline. He's got to have the focus of an eagle in this fight. He cannot afford to switch off for a split second. because it could be curtains. But if he can remain disciplined, we see against Simon Keane. Simon Keane is no Deontay Wilder, but he looks very good. His hands seem to be quicker than they ever have been before. There's, again, a maturity with Joseph Parker that I'm seeing. More experience, a more well-rounded fighter, and I feel he's at his peak now.
Yeah, he looks really good. And I mean, one thing we don't talk about with Parker, obviously we always talk about Wilder's power, and rightly so, Parker can crack as well. So he can crack, he can box, and he's fought at the higher level for a long time now, or the highest level. So he brings experience to the ring as well, Sergio.
Well, he brings a lot of experience, and he brings experience fighting really big men. I mean, going back-to-back with Derek Chisora and really going against the top names. I mean, Anthony Joshua. I mean, that Andy Ruiz fight, that aged well. This is a man who's accustomed to power, accustomed to size. So that's not going to intimidate him. I think what's going to be the factor is him using his smaller advantage. I mean, he's 6'4", but I call him smaller compared to Deontay Wilder. But him using his angles, using the ring, jabbing to the belly, really going into the later rounds, which he's a later round fighter. You know, Parker's the type of fighter that, you know, he fights better the later it goes. And I think the motivation that he has training with Andy Lee, and not only that, training with Tyson Fury, that's also going to give him some motivation. And he has a championship experience with some of the biggest names. So I'm not counting him off. This is a 31-year-old fighter fighting a 38-year-old fighter that's coming off almost coming off back-to-back losses to Tyson Fury knockouts. So he's a live dog.
Yeah, Wilder seems different. His demeanor seems quite different. Like every time I've seen Wilder from a distance, I've seen almost this pumped-up, angry Wilder, especially leading up to the Tyson Fury fights. He seems so much more relaxed now. I don't know if that's a good thing for Joseph Parker or a bad thing. I'm not quite sure.
But look, there's a lot of boxes ticked for Wilder. He's earned a lot of money. He's won titles. He's been in big fights. So pressure's off, I guess.
Is he smaller here?
He
I mean,
very
a lot
lean.
smaller.
He looks very lean.
Yeah, you know, he put on weight for the Fury trilogy fight. He went a lot bigger.
But I do feel the way he generates his power is through speed, and he really commits to the shot. And I think that the lighter he is, the more speed he can generate. The big question, like Sergio said as well, 38 years old now, and 2 damaging defeats, be it to the main man in the division, if you like, Tyson Fury, is his punch resistance. The first thing that goes for a fighter is that punch resistance, but the last thing to go is the power. It's an intriguing matchup.
How quick does he whip that right hand over
That's
as well?
That's where the power comes from. That is where the power comes from.
So fast. That's the co-main event. I mean, look, that's a main event in itself. We've had about 4 or 5 main events. The main event is Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin, former unified heavyweight champion. Anthony Joshua wants those big fights. Wants, I think, another crack at Alexander Usyk. I spoke to him and he mentioned that. What do you make of AJ? What do you make of him and his demeanor?
I said it yesterday as he walked over here. I thought I could sense some nerves in him. It's a big occasion. It's, you know, these 2 semi-finals, if you like. A lot of pressure on him having to win against a potential bogeyman in the division. We see against Tyson Fury how tricky he can be. He can adapt to Wallin. He's very good at adapting. We see against Gassiev last fight. He was very nimble on his feet for a big guy, moving, poking out the jab. Against Fury, he was on the front foot trying to out-muscle this big guy, and it just shows he's very versatile. He's a dangerous fighter, Wallin.
No, he's versatile, and but here's the thing. I think there's a calculated risk on Joshua's part. I mean, he's already beat him in the amateur a couple of times. He was a former sparring partner, Otto Wallin was. So I think they're familiar with each other's style, and I think you know, Anthony Joshua's accustomed to fighting big men, and he's a southpaw. Wallin's a southpaw, and we know that Joshua did really well against the last southpaw he fought in
southpaw.
And Charles Martin.
Oh, okay, in Charles
Martin.
Okay,
well, Usyk's like the southpaw, Lomachenko type southpaw, high-tech southpaw. I'm talking about Charles Martin way back, but that's the type of fighter that Wallin is. So, you know, he has the size, but he just doesn't have that oomph. I think it was a calculated risk by Anthony Joshua. He should take care of business.
Yeah, another calculated risk you could say is AJ now with Ben Davison as opposed to Derek James. This is AJ in camp.
How come you're in the land of Essex, mate?
Training for fights.
AJ's about it. He's never like this at presses, and this is the first time in a long time I've seen him at it.
I just basically told him, I'm gonna f you up. I don't really like the talking stuff.
There's a different look in Josh's eyes.
You're digging your own grave. Just up.
What he wants to destroy Otto Wallin.
When you want to talk, I'm gonna tell you to your face, I'm gonna f you up. The news of the Day of Reckoning is big in my opinion. It's one of the best cards I've seen, and it's a great opportunity. Boxers need more opportunities. Some people ain't fought in a year, 2 years. Some people ain't fought in months. So to get these opportunities to keep active and keep busy, it's definitely good for the landscape.
Both hands. Yeah.
I'm a fighter by nature. I look myself in the mirror and all I see is a fighter, so it's just what I do. Whether I'm in camp or not, I'm always ready to fight.
Because on the GBs, everything was sprints. Oh my God. Yeah. Everything. Sprint. Yeah. Them runs as well, I'll be running and I'll be fucking saying, why am I still tight in the gym? So even though you're fit running or you're pushing yourself, it's not fitness in the ring. That was weird. You know how it is, isn't it? Like, your second round, you're dying, you're thinking, how? So yeah, running doesn't always equate to fitness.
Me personally, inactivity is a great killer of ambition. So I made sure I'm staying active, I'm staying ambitious. The good thing about this card, it showed you that you don't actually need long training camps, as long as you're staying busy and active. So next year I could actually get more busy. I tended to have this mindset where it's like 3 months camps are important to get ready for fights. This came around really quickly, and I said 3 this year, so I'm ticking that box off. Next year I might go for 4. Obviously I want to get to the knockout, but ultimately I know if I do my job, I'll box clever, in and out like a bank robbery, I'll be successful. 2024, if I get past Wallin, me versus Deontay Wilder.
I feel like AJ's been a bit secret in camp. We haven't seen as much as we normally see in terms of behind the scenes. Obviously, it is now a new trainer in Ben Davison. What can Ben bring to the table that a Derek James or a Rob McCracken or Robert Garcia couldn't?
Well, they do a lot of video analysis with Lee Wiley in camp. They break down every finer detail of their opponent, and they come up with usually successful plans. I think that's another string. I talk about this string to the bow that he'll have Anthony Joshua with this work he's doing with Ben Davison. Well, I will say quickly, though he does look slightly nervous, I like the energy, I like the demeanor of AJ. He looks like he's fired up, ready to go. And I'm intrigued to see how this fight plays out early doors. Who's going to be dominating from the front, but who's going to be looking to land the big blow? It's a great fight.
On the flip side to, I guess, me being slightly negative about him with Ben Davison, is there a positive in a new voice, new surroundings, new energy, because it is new techniques, and as you say, looking at new film, because Ben and Lee do break film down?
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Ben Davison, so whoever's in his corner, whoever he's working, I'm going to be a fan of, because he knows how to use that minute and actually not talk too much, just give you the right instructions. I'm a huge fan of Ben Davison, and since Anthony Joshua is a cerebral fighter, I think he'll work with that, because he doesn't really need the energy. He needs A, B, or C and describe it, and that's how you execute it. Ben Davis is one of the best at this, so I think it's just going to be just fine. Add the fact that they're both Brits, they can understand each other, understand each other's lingo. I think that's what went wrong with Robert Garcia and Anthony Joshua. The fact that there was something missing there. Yeah. The game plan was there, but there was something missing. The chemistry wasn't 100%. I think Ben Davison is going to be perfect with the chemistry.
Obviously, look, we're focused heavy on AJ here. Let's go back to Otto Wallin very quickly. What chance do you give Otto Wallin, like percentage?
30%.
30%? 30?
What was it?
What percentage chance do you give Otto Wallin of causing the upset?
20.
20? 20, so 30, 20, 25.
We're
a team. Teamwork. 30, 20, 25. But obviously, look, Otto Wallin coming in here, obviously lost just the once. That was to Tyson Fury, and he caused Fury some problems. Clearly not scared, has been semi-avoided, wants an opportunity. He's almost been on the outskirts looking in. He's now main event. He's now main event and one of the biggest fighter cards we've ever seen.
Yeah, look, he knows how to adapt, which makes him an awkward opponent. He can fight on the front foot, he can fight on the back foot. He's a danger man. He is a danger man, but he knows how to win rounds.
All right, well, ready to go. You can see the big man AJ here, former unified heavyweight champion. So let's get this show on the road, the main portion of the press conference. Let's throw it back down to Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies
Boxing to be held this Saturday, December 23rd, live from Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This great event is being presented by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions for Riyadh Season and National Events Center in association with the General Entertainment Authority, Gold Star Promotions, and Stella. Let's first welcome Nisa Sauerland of Wasserman Boxing. And now let's welcome Lyndon King Arthur. And now let's welcome Dimitri Bivol manager, Vaden Kornelov. Let's now welcome Dimitri Bivol. And now let's welcome of Salida Promotions, Mr. Dimitri Salida. Let's welcome Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Let's now welcome Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois. Let's welcome Otto All In Volin. Let's welcome Joseph Parker. Let's welcome the manager of Deontay Wilder, Mr. Shelley Finkel. Let's now welcome Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money. Money, money, money. let's welcome the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Let's welcome AJ Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, we put corn in clips. How many times did we take them trips? I was walking around with a free spin. How many times did I take that risk? How many times did they shoot and miss? How many times did they touch civilians, then try rap and claim that? How many lives been taken? How many times did we take for strips? How many bills did I have in the chamber? And that who got hit? How many matches done got?
Let's welcome International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter, Mr. Frank Warren of Queensberry Promotions.
Paid the cost to be the boss. Paid the cost to be the boss.
We now hand things over to our host, Mr. Dev Sunny.
Some brilliant ring walk music there as well, some very, very appropriate. Thank you for sticking with us, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think you were going to go anywhere, to be honest, with what we've got coming up. This is part 2 of today's iconic, historic, landmark press conference ahead of an incredible, maybe the best ever boxing event put on this Saturday night in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The day of reckoning is now just hours and hours away. We've heard from some of the fighters involved, and now we're going to hear from a few more, including our co-main events, including a mouth-watering heavyweight fight, and including a WBA light heavyweight world title fight. Well, this historic fight card is presented to fans worldwide by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions for Riyadh season and the National Events Centre in association with the General Entertainment Authority, Gold Star Promotions and Seller. On behalf of Queensberry, we'd like to historic fight card as we continue this year's Riyadh season. And at this point, we just want to express our heartfelt thanks to His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman. And of course, to His Excellency, the Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Turki Al Sheikh. A big thanks to all of the teams at the GEA, Riyadh season and Seller, as we continue to work together to deliver unbelievable events here in the Kingdom. Now, this event is available on DAZN pay-per-view worldwide, TNT Sports box office in the UK and Ireland, and ESPN Plus pay-per-view in the US. Now, before we begin, before we hear from everyone at this top table, we should take a moment to just talk about our brilliant, fantastic hosts on Saturday night. Now, Riyadh season has become one of the most widely anticipated global events of the year. For the last 4 years, since 2019, we've seen nearly 40 million visitors from every corner of the globe welcome to this beautiful city. There's more than 12 zones, each offering unique experiences, live concerts, five-star dining, high-level sporting events, and really everything in between. There is something for everyone here in Riyadh. Back in October, on a night that will live long in the memory, it was boxing that had the privilege of kicking off Riyadh season with the battle of the baddest. It was Tyson Fury against Francis Ngannou, the king of heavyweight boxing against the king of MMA. It was an unforgettable night and one of the most talked about events in the history of sport. For those who have already been fortunate enough to visit Riyadh, you'll know that there is something very special in the Arabian air. And for those who haven't visited yet, well, what are you waiting for? You need to come and get involved. And this event on Saturday night is everything that Riyadh season is all about. It is well and truly big time. Let's begin once again by bringing in Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren. And Frank, I touched upon the incredible battle of the baddest, Fury and Ngannou, back in October. And it felt like that opened up an awful lot. And looking up at this top table, you must be pretty pleased with what's going on.
I am. It's this is history making, certainly as far as boxing's concerned. It's certainly the biggest event I've been involved with as regarding the amount of top quality fights on one card, and certainly we've got, as I mentioned earlier, we've got 10 of the top 15 heavyweight fighters in the world on this card, plus 2 other champions defending their titles, and this is definitely something extra special. And I'm going to repeat myself from earlier. I also want to thank His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, for making the event possible in this Riyadh season, and all his staff who've worked very closely with Queensberry, with General Entertainment Authority of Saudi Arabia, Spencer Brown's Gold Star Promotion, Seller, and all the promoters here, my fellow promoters that I will mention again earlier, Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing, 258, AJ Boxing, Shelley Finkel, Top Ranks, Salisa Promotions, Wasserman Boxing, and SES Boxing. I've never said anything like that before. That shows what this is all about. Everybody cooperating to deliver. And we have, between all of us, delivered something extra special. This is a boxing feast for the fans. And I'm going to tell you, it will blow your mind on Saturday night. All of these guys are putting it on the line. All of them. They all want to be back here, as I said in the last press conference. They want to be back here in the new year. And for the winners, it's going to get bigger and bigger and better and better. And it's going to set some great fights up for the boxing fans around the world.
And just on these fights, it feels like, Frank, some of these fights could really change the landscape of boxing right now with the results and the way they could potentially go. High level fights, high jeopardy.
Well, it goes without saying. You know, you look at the joint main events, the 2 main events. You got AJ from Britain. You know, he's in a tough fight. He's in with Otto Wallin, who's only got 1 loss on his record, 26 wins. That loss was against Tyson Fury. He's coming off a very, very impressive win over Gassier from his last fight. AJ, I'm sure, will be out to prove that he's still at the top table. I'm sure he's going to be looking to put in a fantastic performance. And Otto's going to be looking to upset the odds in the apple cart. So I think that in itself is going to be a very, very intriguing and important fight. And then you look at Deontay. He's in with a real tough competitor in Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker won his last fight here on the very first show that we did at the Riyadh season and done it in good style. He's a fellow stablemate, trainer, I should say, training mate of Tyson Fury, so I'm sure he'll be asking for some tips from Tyson about what he should be doing. And Deontay, he's been out the ring for 2 years. He's come back with 1 win, which was a hell of a win, a 1-round blowout of Hellenius. Again, neither of these guys can afford to slip up. You know, Deontay, I'm sure, again, will want to be confirming his place at the top table. And Joseph Parker will be doing his best to upset the odds. They're great fights. They're intriguing fights. And who knows what the winners, where they go and what it will lead to.
Thank you very much, Frank. We'll be coming back to you shortly. Well, the first fight that we're going to discuss is a tremendous world title fight between the unbeaten Russian Dmitry Bivol, putting his WBA light heavyweight title on the line against the IBO light heavyweight champion, Britain's Lyndon King Arthur. Now, this fight is brought to you in association with World of Boxing Promotions, Matchroom Boxing and Wasserman Boxing. I'm going to start by bringing in Eddie Hearn. Eddie, great to see you again. It feels like Dmitry Bivol, your guy, a man at the peak of his powers right now, and a real chance to make a statement on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks, Dev. And just to echo what Frank said, really the excitement building into this card. It was 4 years ago we first came to Riyadh, and the change that we've seen here has been incredible. I'm not sure, like Frank said, we've ever seen a card put together like this before, and particularly the speed in which it was delivered. So many great fights. Of course, the heavyweight fights, but so many great opportunities for other fighters in different weight classes. When you talk about Dmitry Bivol, you talk about a pound-for-pound great fighter. The victory over Canelo Alvarez that we promoted in Las Vegas in the T-Mobile Arena was incredible. It was a masterclass, cemented his position on the pound-for-pound list. And I'm delighted that Lyndon Arthur gets the opportunity. You know, a great lad, British fighter, great team with Pat Barrett and everybody in Manchester, and you know that he's going to come to win on Saturday, but he has a very tough task ahead of him against, I believe, the #1 light heavyweight in the world.
And have you struggled to find willing opponents for what you believe is the #1 light heavyweight in the world?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've offered the fight to a number of British fighters, Joshua Buatsi, Dan Aziz, and finally we found one to step up in Lyndon Arthur. You know, we've got a good team with Nissa and Kala at Wasserman Boxing as well, and you know, great to have them involved and so many promoters. And you know, you've got to chase greatness. Lyndon Arthur has an opportunity to feature on the pound-for-pound list himself if he can dethrone Dimitri Bivol. Tough ass, but he's a quality fighter. This man to my right has been out of the ring for over a year, but ready to show everybody that he's the top dog on Saturday night.
Well, let's bring in Vadim Kornilov from World of Boxing Promotions. And Vadim, Dimitri Bivol, your guy, has, you know, you've been with him every step of the way, and now he is on this stage. He's already done so much, but it feels like this is perhaps a new chapter in the brilliant career of Dimitri Bivol. Tell us about it.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here, and you know, it's a great opportunity for us. It's been an honor working with everybody involved. There's a lot of promoters, Queensberry, Matchroom, Sella, His Excellency, and so far it's been a great ride. We're looking forward to a beginning of a big chapter for us. You know, this fight is a stepping stone for us for a possible undisputed fight to come next year. But right now, obviously, we're focused on Lyndon Arthur, and we appreciate that he took this fight. We appreciate that he took the challenge. As Eddie said, there's been probably 4 or 5 opponents that we were trying to get in the ring with Dimitri, and many of them were not enticed in doing the fight. So we appreciate this. We appreciate this opportunity, and we look forward to a great event. Thank you.
Thank you, Vadim. Well, let's bring in from Team Lyndon Arthur, from Wasserman Boxing, Nissa Sauerland. Nissa, you know, a huge opportunity for your man here, Lyndon Arthur, a huge night. You must be delighted to secure this.
Very much so. I think, like Eddie said and Vadim said, a lot of people have been offered this fight, but my man on the right to me has taken the reins and he's decided to take the fight. Massive opportunity. If he wins on Saturday night, he's #1 in the division. He calls the shots. We're not coming here to make up numbers. We're coming to win. And that is the aim on Saturday, and I think he'll do it. Call me crazy, I think he's going to do it. He's bang up for it. And yeah, looking very much forward to seeing it.
Well, there's been all this talk. A round of applause for Nissa Sauerland. Listen, there has been all this talk, Nissa, about the next fight, as does happen in boxing. People are linking Dimitri Bivol to the winner of Beterbiev against Smith. People are talking about that fight. I mean, how does that sound to you when people are talking about that fight and perhaps overlooking your man Lyndon Arthur?
Yeah, I think it's a very dangerous thing to do. I think Vadim said it correctly. He said he said it was a stepping stone, but he's not a stepping stone. He's someone that can't be overlooked. Lyndon has top pedigree. He beat Yardi, obviously lost the rematch. But when he's up for a fight, Lyndon's up for a fight. And trust me, he's up for it on Saturday night. You know, I'm very, very excited to see the performance.
Okay, thank you very much, Nissa Sauerland. I'm just going to pause to see if anyone else is going to applaud. Yeah, apparently so. There you go, Nissa Sauerland. Let's bring in the man sat next to him, Lyndon King Arthur. Very, very well attired today, Lyndon. I love what you've gone with today. Look, you're really taking this in this week, aren't you?
Yeah, it's, you know, just for the culture and all that. I've been telling everybody yalla, 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 you know, getting used to it. But now I'm enjoying it and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Well, Lyndon, look, I've been following your story for a long time, from the kid that was sat on the curb, pulled and picked up by Pat Barrett, dragged into the gym, convinced to go and change your life. Well, look around. You have changed your life. How does it feel to be right here on the grandest stage of them all?
It's good, man. I'm taking it all in, and I kind of have changed my life a little bit with boxing and how far I've took it. Nobody probably would have thought I would take it this far if you asked them 10 years ago, but here I am.
It's a huge task. Some people call him the #1 light heavyweight in the world. Are you ready for this task?
Yeah, I won't be here, obviously.
What is it that you can do to upset Dimitri Bivol on Saturday night?
We'll see you on Saturday.
Very short, very concise answers, Lyndon Arthur. Do you feel like the best is still yet to come from you, Lyndon?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't believe nobody's seen the best of me yet, but I feel like if a fight's going to do it, this one will be the one.
Okay, all right, we look forward to that. Let's bring in the WBA light heavyweight champion, Mr. Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri, I saw you out for Fury versus Ngannou. Another round of applause, why not? I saw you out for Fury versus Ngannou in October. You look like you love Riyadh, and now you get the chance to fight here. How does that feel?
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you, Saudi, for making this huge event, to invite me to be part of this event. Thank you to my team, to my promoters, Eddie Hearn, Rybinski, Andrei, World of Boxing, and thank you everyone who support me. What about Saudi? Of course, I like to be here because I know Saudi makes great events, and on the Tyson against Ngannou, I was excited to see how they make this show, how huge is it, and of course I wanted to be one day part of this similar huge event, and I'm here now, and Saudi making a very good job for all of boxing society, I think, because fans want to see great fights, and they will see a couple of great fights at one day.
And why is Lyndon Arthur the right fight for you right now? Why is this the right one?
You know, usually my life schedule until the fight, I'm living until the December 24th. Many people ask me about what about undisputed fight. Of course, I'm talking about it, but I'm really focused on Lyndon Arthur. I'm treating to him seriously because he's my opponent. He wanna beat me, but I have to beat him. And he has good jab. He's a fighter. He had a couple of fights this year, and he's a good opponent today for me.
Dimitri, you're still unbeaten, obviously, so many world title defenses, but we haven't seen a knockout for a little while now. Do you think we can get a knockout on Saturday night?
Everything is possible, but you know me, I'm not usually focused on knockout because it distract me from my plan. Of course, if I see the moment, I will use this moment. But I'm not the fighter who think about only one punch. I like to enjoy the process. I like to following my tactics, and I'm enjoying it, to be honest, in the ring.
All right, thank you very much. We're looking forward to this on Saturday night. The WBA and the IBO Light Heavyweight Championships on the line. Dimitri Bivol and Lyndon Arthur. Now, the next fight that we're going to come to is a fight that has got a lot of people talking. These guys could not be more opposite in character, Daniel Dubois and Jarrell Miller, but they are united in one common goal on Saturday, and that's to knock each other out. Cannot wait for this fight. It is brought to you in association with Solita Promotions and Miller Time Promotions. And Frank, I'm gonna bring you in here. Daniel Dubois, just 18, 19 years old when he first joined the Queensbury stable. You've been there every step of the way. Feels like a big one on Saturday night.
It certainly is. He's in a tough fight, there's no doubt about that. And he's just coming off a very tough fight against Usyk. We all have our views on how the outcome of that. I felt that was a legitimate blow, but I'm not going to drive everybody mad about that. But look, Daniel shows that he's got the power. I think he gave Usyk his toughest fight at heavyweight, and he certainly exposed, I think, a weakness there in around his middle. I think he struggles a bit taking sometimes shots to the body. And as I say, Daniel has power. But at the end of the fight, a lot of people questioned the way it ended. They questioned about his commitment. And this is a fight where he's got to get out there and he's got to show what he's all about. And that's the challenge for him. And he's up for the challenge. He's in a really good place at the moment. And he's in with an excellent fighter who's had his problems in the past. He's now got his license back, having paid for the problems that he incurred upon himself. He's licensed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. This is a good fight for him as well. You know, both these guys, I think, are at a level now where they need to put in a performance that's going to be really eye-catching, a performance that's going to move them on to the next level. I've got my views on who I feel will win, and that's why Daniel, we put him into the fight. But I know that Gerald's got his own opinion on that. But one thing's for sure, this fight is on paper a 50-50 fight. And I think it's going to be probably the most competitive fight on the night. I may be wrong, because there are some great fights on the card, but it's going to be a very, very competitive fight.
Thank you very much, Frank. Let's bring in Dimitri Salita here. Dimitri, you've been banging the drum for Jarrell Miller for a little while now. You've talked about how he's got the skills and the personalities to really become a top heavyweight. But this feels like the toughest fight of his career. Do you agree with that, and do you agree with what Frank said?
Thank you so much. First of all, it's a great honor to be here, and I want to thank all the event organizers. This is a fantastic event, and like Mr. Frank Warren said, this is a crossroads fight. And Jarrell has all the ingredients, the skills, the personality to be a real force in the heavyweight division. And Daniel Dubois, on paper, is Jarrell's toughest opponent, but I believe Jarrell is going to be explosive, impressive, and is going to put himself in position for big fights.
So for you, this is a case of Jarrell Miller putting himself in the shop window for maybe some other guys up here?
Definitely. I think that Jarrell, look at how much interest he's generated this week. There's not have been a lot of heavyweights from Brooklyn, New York, like Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, who have the personality and the skills. And I believe with an impressive win, Jarrell puts himself in a picture with the big fights, with Tyson Fury, with Anthony Joshua, with Usyk, with Wilder, etc.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. Now, I've been looking forward to this all week. I'm actually going to come to Daniel Dubois first, because I'm not sure he'd get a word in otherwise. So, Daniel, I'm going to bring you in here. You've talked about how this guy here, Jarrell Miller, is the perfect opponent for you. Now, he is going to weigh 100 pounds more than you. He's going to be calling you names. He's going to be walking you down. Why is he the perfect guy for you to fight?
I only have a few things to say to Jarrell. Yo, big baby. Every baby has a daddy, and I'm gonna beat you like I'm your daddy.
Hey! What's up? I don't know what card they prompted you to read that on, but I'm happy you did it. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. Daniel Dubois just lost his virginity.
Daniel's arrived.
Let's go.
He's here.
Daniel, are you here to knock this guy out on Saturday night?
I'm ready to see him in the ring. I don't do too much talking, but I'm ready for him.
Has he lit a fire in you, calling you all these names, putting up all these posts on social media, coming after you? Has he lit a fire in you?
You know, I'm ready to fight. I got a support behind me, and I'm ready to just show up. Show up.
Let's bring in Jarrell Miller. Now, it looks like you've changed Daniel Dubois this week. This is a new guy here. It sounds like he wants to do bad things to you on Saturday. Tell us what you're thinking.
Before I roast him, I want to say, Alhamdulillah, you know, as a newly born Muslim, you know, I'm tired of roasting these guys all week, man. I'm exhausted. I'm just ready to punch them in the face already, you know, and I was like, who am I to roast first? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give all the fighters grace. You know, I'm going to give AJ grace. And, you know, me and Deontay haven't said no words, so I'm going to give him grace. Old Tonwa, everybody give him grace. But I feel like picking at some promoters, you know. Eddie's my guy still, you know. And I always say sometimes he can be a jackass or, you know, a little hypocrite. But, you know, he does pay well and he paid on time compared to the other dickhead at this other side of the table. So with that being said, you know, Eddie, you know I'm still a fan of you. But, Frank, thank you as well. I'm a fan of you as well, too. Even though you picked the wall, I'm going to cook his ass. Listen, man, Saturday night's going to be a fun night. You know, I'm excited to see the AJ Wallen fight, the Deontay Parker fight. You know, it's not just about myself. I just feel like it's an awesome card to be on, the Bevo fight as well, too. Just tune in Saturday night, man. I'm going to cook this shrimp, the two-time quitter. You know what I'm trying to say?
Boy.
Two-time quitter. Ain't going to spank shit. Listen.
I'm going to teach you a lesson, boy.
It's so funny. I'm
going to teach you a lesson.
You know, after the Usyk fight, you know, I heard he finally got some vagina. So I'm happy for you. And I applaud you that you know what the gushy feel like. Well, I'm going to make your face mushy come Saturday night. So all you guys, please tune in. And it's going to be amazing. Thank you. Have a good night.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Tremendous exchange. I'm almost lost for words. Look, Jarrell, I can't let you go. I mean, you're trying to give everyone grace up here. Are you sure you haven't got anything else to say to any other rival heavyweights up here?
Nah, I'll tell you the reason why. I'm locked in now. You know, Monday was here. You know, we seen AJ and I seen Dubois already. Like I said, we all got our respectful tasks on Saturday. I'm locked in on Daniel Dubois right now. You know, the beef and all that stuff can happen again after the fight. But I know I got your back, though. If anybody messes with you, just let me know. You know, give him a Brooklyn beatdown for sure. I got you. You cussed out now with me. You feel me? But, nah, man, I'm just focused on Saturday night, man. Let's tune in, bro. I did enough talking. I done hype the card as much as I can. Just buy the damn pay-per-view and watch an amazing night of boxing in Saudi. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Jarrell. Thank you, Daniel. Brilliant, brilliant stuff here. Cannot wait for this fight on Saturday night. Let's continue with one of our co-main events on Saturday. The hard-hitting, former long-reigning WBC World Heavyweight Champion Deontay Wilder takes on the former WBO World Heavyweight Champion, a reignited Joseph Parker. Now, this fight to you is brought to you in association with Bomb Squad. I'm first going to bring in Shelley Finkel, representative, of course, of Deontay Wilder for a long time. And Shelley, I know you're a man of few words, but this really is an important night for Deontay Wilder.
I still only have a few words. Fact is, it's a great competitive fight. I like Joseph Parker as a person, but I think Deontay is just going to be too much for him. And you'll see it. And don't blink, as Deontay says, because it happens that fast.
Thank you, Shelley Finkel. Well, I won't ask you too many more. I know you are a man of few words. Thank you for that. Let's bring in Joseph Parker here. A very, very important fight for you in your career. You've talked about how this is the biggest fight of your career. You are now just hours away from taking on one of the biggest punchers in the history of the sport. How are you feeling?
Firstly, it's great to be back in Saudi Arabia. Thank you to His Excellency for the opportunity to fight on this card and this event. Thank you to the people of Saudi Arabia for being so welcoming to our team. Spencer Brown and Gypsy King, Andy Lee, George Lockhart, and David Higgins. Thanks for all the hard work, Team Parker. I'm here and I'm ready. I've had a great camp. We're going into this fight, good game plan, great strategy. And listen, respect to Wilder, but I'm here to do a job and I'm here to win. That's it.
Well, listen, Joe, you're not going to get away with that. In your corner, you've got Andy Lee. You know, you've been going to Tyson Fury for advice as well. I've seen Tyson do a couple of interviews talking about it. What sort of benefit have you got from this camp where Deontay Wilder's looking in the opposite corner and he is seeing the same camp that actually inflicted his only defeats?
Like I said, we have a great camp and the people involved, but when I go out there, I'm gonna put on a great display.
All right, well, let's bring in Deontay Wilder here. Deontay, really a monumental moment in your career so far. It's your Saudi Arabia debut. I know you've been looking forward to this one. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's been an amazing time just being here. This is my second time here, and just the love and the support that I've been getting from all the people here, it's just been amazing. And just to be a part of this card is with so many great fighters. This is a one-of-a-kind card, and with so many great fighters on one card, heavyweights, and this is what we like to see. Everyone loves to see heavyweights, and they love to see knockouts, and they got the right man on the card for this job. I'm definitely coming to do what I do best. You know, it's something that's God-given. It's something that I don't have to pressure myself do or others apply pressure on to me. It's something that comes naturally, and I'm coming to do it again this time around as well. So, like Shelley told you, like I always say, don't blink, baby. Bam, good night.
Deontay, with this fight, it's a fight that was talked about a few years ago when he had the WBO title. Of course, you had the WBC title. I've seen you talk about it, and I've seen you actually say that you think Joseph Parker ran from you, and you're going to take it out on him for running from you. Tell us a little bit more about that. You really think he didn't want to fight you once upon a time?
Yeah, I truly believe he ran from me. You know, I've heard that he said that he's confident that he's gonna knock me out, but I kind of hard to believe, because how can you have confidence in yourself as a challenger and you didn't have confidence in yourself as a champion? It's kind of backwards to me. But whatever flows his boat. We'll see what happens on Saturday night. I can't wait to look. I'm looking forward to sharing the ring with him, and may the best man win.
Joseph, have you been running from Deontay Wilder?
I don't run from anyone, Dev. As you can see, I fight the best in the world every time.
Well, this is the thing about you, Joseph. I was actually going to raise this. You are the guy that seems to say yes to everyone. I mean, no one really was queuing up to fight Joe Joyce. Do you still consider this guy to be the hardest test of your entire career? And do you feel you can knock him out on Saturday?
Of course. This is a tough test, but I know I can knock him out 100%.
And Tyson Fury has said, all you got to do is keep out of the way of the right hand. Is that it? Is that the plan?
Correct. That's what I'm going to do.
Deontay, there's more to Deontay Wilder than just a right hand, right?
What's that?
There is more to Deontay Wilder than just a right hand, though, right?
We're going to find out Saturday night, you know. I'm good that he's getting advice. I hope he take it all in, because when he wake up, he's going to be like, damn, they lied to me.
Good one, good one.
Joseph, I want to read you a quote which I've seen from Deontay Wilder, something he said which I thought, okay, he's gone in a little bit here. He said, I want to knock him out of the ring. I've never knocked a man out of the ring. I want to knock him out of the ring, and I don't want nobody to hold him up when he falls. I want him to fall straight on the floor and on the ground with his arm folded out, looking up into the sky. These are words that have left the mouth of Deontay Wilder. Now, hearing that sounds like quite a brutal warning. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Deontay, anything to say to that? I mean, these words did leave your mouth. It sounds like you're coming here with bad intentions.
Well, you know, I come to do what I do best, you know. That's a sight to get the fans what they want to see, you know. At the end of the day, no one wants to see a 12-round fight. It's a whole bunch of heavyweights up here, and we're the hard hitters. And at the end of the day, people have things to do. And they want to come and see a fight, and after that, they want to go party. So when you're watching me, like I said, don't blink. I'm going to give you what you want to see. And nowadays, my name is called Dr. Sleep. And I definitely got the NyQuil in the right hand, so I hope you bring a pillow and a blanket. It get a little chilly at night.
Thank you, Deontay. Just, Joseph, do you intend on bringing a pillow? Are you taking his advice?
Working on these raps now, boy.
Don't ask me silly questions. It's a stupid question. On to the next one.
There will be no pillow on Saturday. Look, Deontay, I just want to come back to you. Obviously, you've got this fight, but we can't ignore all the rumours that are out there in the marketplace. You talk about how, obviously, you always focus on your next fight, but you do like to window shop. Now, when you look through this window over here, I can see Anthony Joshua over here. What do you see when you look through this window?
Honestly, I see a man that's been focusing and you know, focus on what the task that lies at hand. You know, that same as I, but you know, I'm not in his head, so I can't speak for himself. You know, a lot of people have asked me about his mannerism, the way he's been, his demeanor about himself, the way he's been reacting to the media. You know, the questions that when it comes about me, you know, I can't speak for him. You know, we on the outside looking in, and we'll see. You know, he has a task a big task to complete, as well as I have one as well. So when it's all over with, we can talk about it. But at this moment in time, it's getting close to the fight, and I think we're both focused on the same task, and that's the win. I'll leave it as that.
Thank you very much, Deontay. Thank you very much, Joseph Parker, as well. Well, let's keep things moving. Let's speak about the brilliant co-main event. The former two-time unified world heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua, returns and takes on a highly rated, highly ranked Swede, of course, the one and only Otto Wallin. It's a fight that we truly can't wait for. This fight is presented by Queensberry Promotions and Matchroom Boxing in association with AJ Boxing. And I'm going to start by bringing in Eddie Hearn. Eddie, at the launch press conference, you talked about the roadmap for Anthony Joshua. The next stop on that roadmap is Otto Wallin. How do you feel about this fight? 6 weeks' notice, tall southpaw. What do you think?
Yeah, thanks, Dev. I mean, firstly, it's 3 great heavyweight fights. I can't wait for Big Baby against definitely my new favourite heavyweight after that war cry in Daniel Dubois. It's a great fight and a real 50-50 fight. And this man to my right, beyond AJ, and Joseph Parker, means business. He's got a tremendous team, great people. Andy Lee, one of the best trainers in the sport. And that's a very tough fight for Deontay Wilder, who is one of the most exciting heavyweights on the planet. For AJ, the run has been incredible. The journey has been incredible, from winning Olympic gold, from winning the World Heavyweight Championship in his 16th fight, the run that he's been on. You know, Dominic Brazil, Eric Molina, Vladimir Klitschko, Carlos Takam unifying against Joseph Parker in a great fight as well. Alexander Povetkin, Andy Ruiz, Kubrat Pulev, Alexander Usyk, Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, and now Otto Wallin. This is his third fight in 2023. It's the first time he's been able to be active without the politics of a belt, and it's a real test. You know, Otto Wallin is a guy that I remember seeing in Sheffield many years ago. Many people feel like he was unlucky not to force a stoppage against Tyson Fury. He's coming off a great win against Murat Gassiev, and I love his confidence. I think he truly believes he will win the fight on Saturday. We've got other plans, but we also know when you talk about a roadmap, the most dangerous thing is to not look straight in front of you. And I see a very motivated Anthony Joshua. You know, I see a guy that has really, in my opinion, been responsible for the growth of the heavyweight division, going back to filling stadiums, coming off the World Championship victory after winning Olympic gold, and a guy that has plenty more left to give to the heavyweight division, wants to become a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion, but has a real tough task ahead of him on Saturday night. Great link up with Ben Davison. I think you're going to see a stunning performance from Anthony on Saturday.
I've got to just bring you up on this one. There's been a lot of talks, a lot of reports out there about the next fight already being signed, but that's not the case, Eddie.
No, not at all. You know, I mean, look, Anthony wants the biggest fights in boxing. His resume proves that. He has the best resume in the heavyweight division. We've wanted to fight Deontay Wilder for a long time, but the only thing that matters is Saturday night. You know, I worry for Deontay Wilder in the fight, and anything can happen in our fight as well, but nothing agreed. You know, His Excellency has a vision for boxing in Saudi Arabia. He wants to bring the biggest fights. For me, that is the biggest fight in boxing, but nothing agreed and all irrelevant until Saturday night is finished.
Thank you, Eddie. Before we bring in the fighters, let's just bring in Frank Warren here. Again, Frank, this is a tremendous co-main event fight here. Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallin, so much on the line for both guys, really. Give us your thoughts heading into it.
It's a very, you say, it's a very, very interesting fight. AJ, Eddie just said he's had a couple of fights this year, and this will be his third one. This is, I think it's been the toughest one for him. He's got an opponent who's really up for the job. He's only lost one fight. That was against Tyson. That was quite a few years ago. And as I mentioned earlier, he's coming off an impressive win against Gassiev. He genuinely, I've spoken with him, he genuinely thinks he can win this Otto. And AJ can't afford to lose it. He wants to stay at the top of on the top table. It's his fights that he's got to win, and he's got to win them in style. It's going to be an exciting fight. There's no doubt about that. I think it will be exciting. And you've got 8 fights on this card, 8 quality fights. There will be an upset somewhere. The odds will obviously prove that. There will definitely be an upset. So who's it going to be? Because these guys, all the opponents, all the fellas who are coming here classed as opponents, they're coming to win. They're not just coming to make up the numbers. They're coming to win these fights. And I think AJ will have his hands full. I think it's going to be a tough fight. And we're going to see what the future brings for him. He knows what he's got to do to win. He knows what's at stake here. He probably knows better than me or anybody. And he can't afford to slip up. And as I've just said, Otto is a massive chance, massive opportunity for him. The same as it is for Joseph Parker against Deontay. You know, these are good quality fights. There's jeopardy in these fights. There is real jeopardy in them. So we'll see. Saturday night is going to be one hell of a card. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you very much, Frank. Let's bring in Otto Wallin. Otto, you've been very vocal in the build-up to this fight. I think you've surprised people by some of the things that you have said. Now that it's getting closer, now that it's just hours away, are you getting nervous? How are you feeling?
Of course I'm nervous, but I just want to say thank you for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Frank Warren, for making this happen. But yes, of course I'm nervous. It's a big fight, big opportunity, but I'm ready for it. I worked very hard to be here, And now it's just time to enjoy the moment, win the fight, and move on. But, you know, people are talking about upsets, but I'm going to win the fight, and you shouldn't call it an upset. It's not really an upset. It's just natural. This is my time, so I'm ready for it. I'm really happy to be here.
There's been a lot of talk from yourself about the mental side of things. Do you feel like you have the mental edge heading into Saturday?
I don't know. I'm just trying to be myself. People say I talk a lot now, but I mean, I get questions. I just answer them with what I feel, right? And that's just, I'm not trying to make anything up. It's just the truth. So if people like it, fine. If they don't, then that's okay too.
You actually said that if you were Anthony Joshua, you wouldn't have taken this fight. You wouldn't have chosen to fight Otto Wallin. Why is that? Why are you such a problem?
Because I have a lot of secrets. I can't tell them right now.
Can you at least give us a hint? Anything, Otto? Give me something.
No, but okay. If you really want to know, you know, I'm a tricky southpaw. I'm a good fighter. It's kind of a short notice to this fight, and also he's got a new trainer. So I think that's you know, that can be tricky.
There's a little bit of history there. There's some amateur fights that you've had. There's plenty of rounds sparring as well. And you said that he's a different guy to what you remember. How has Anthony Joshua changed from the man that you used to know?
Well, I only know him outside of the ring, really. I mean, inside the ring too, but not in a fight like this. And my sense now is, I mean, he used to be a happy guy, but I don't know. From what I see, he seems very stiff and tense. But I don't know, maybe he's fed up with all this stuff.
I think you might be right. And Otto, let me just ask you this. I watched an interview the other day with Anthony where he said that there will be blood and bruises on Saturday night. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, look at the Fury fight. You see a lot of blood and a lot of bruises.
Thank you, Otto Wallin. Well, I'm going to defer to Eddie Hearn here, who has a few questions for the former unified world heavyweight champion, Anthony Joshua. Eddie, over to you.
Thanks, Dev. Thank you, Otto, as well. Looking forward to a great fight. Just to finish on this incredible card, and again, thanks to all the promoters and Frank Warren of Queensbury, yourself, Dev, and His Excellency for the vision. As I said, 4 years ago, this journey started in Saudi Arabia with Anthony Joshua when he rematched Andy Ruiz here in Riyadh. And the development in this city, the development in the country, not just as a destination for world-class sport, has been incredible. And this man to my right has been around a long time. He's seen it. He's done it all. I think when you talk about his demeanor this week, just another fight for him. He's done this many, many times all around the world. And just to close with the main event, the star of the show, AJ, ready to fight on Saturday night. Not too many words, but I know you're looking to do a demolition job on this man come the weekend.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks to everyone for turning up today. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'm looking to do a good job. What more can I say? I will do a good job.
The analysis of you comes with a territory. Every line that comes out your mouth, someone said, he looks tense. I mean, I've never actually seen you more relaxed.
I'm here to fight. I'm not here to party and get caught up in the glitz and glam. I want to fight. I want to perform well. Put that pressure on myself. Of course I'm tense because I want to perform. I want to win. I got that urge to win, and I want to hurt my opponent as well.
Everybody talking about the bigger fights. I know the focus is Saturday, but so refreshing to have a man talking
Pure focus on Saturday.
And making sure you're focused. He's making sure you're dialed in for Saturday night.
Yeah, pure focus on Saturday. That's where my heart, my soul, every cell in my body is fully focused towards Otto Wallin and doing what I know I can do.
And finally, live on DAZN pay-per-view around the world at the weekend. Just a few words for the people of Saudi Arabia, His Excellency, the vision that they've had, an incredible event, and your third fight in Saudi Arabia.
Right, third fight in Saudi Arabia, yeah. Big vision in Saudi Arabia. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia welcome us all here, even the people down there with open arms. Much appreciated. I know how much they put into putting these shows on. I've never seen anything like this in my whole life. Phenomenal. I sat down with His Excellency Turkey, and he showed me his vision. And the last man standing will be on this table in the future for sure. I'm looking forward to be sitting here in the future as well. And yeah, the vision is big. The vision is big for sure. And I was just wondering as well, I know everyone's come out to see us. If there are, I'm sure we've got a spare 10 minutes if anyone wants to ask any questions to the fighters up on the top table. You're more than welcome to fire away. Derek, how can I help you? I can't, what round am I knocking him out? Only God knows, only God knows.
Hold on, I want Eddie to ask me some questions. I didn't know he took in the hosting job over.
Let's go.
I mean, you took the job from other guys. Ask me some questions, Eddie. You know, I want to. Go ahead, man.
I don't know, you went a bit quiet earlier when Dubois stuck it on you.
Hey, listen.
Never seen you lost for words,
listen,
mate.
I guess somebody taught him his nursery rhymes last night because that boy came out firing his
I like you, you're my friend, but I'm doing the ring walk with Daniel on Saturday.
Oh, you are?
The Brits are coming.
I hear you. Fish and chips going to get extra fried. Don't worry about it.
You say that every fight. It's getting boring now. Go on, Dubois.
Listen, we're going to shave that toupee off his head, too. Don't worry, Eddie. Eddie should have an exhibition one of these days.
That's all right. We'll see what your engine's like these days. Listen. On a serious note, thank you very much to everybody.
Wrapping up.
Well, I'm happy for more questions. Dev, do you want to take some questions?
Let's get one question from the man with his hand up and the microphone.
Oh, we've got a mic now.
Go on, give us your question.
I was asking to AJ, obviously, with all the heavyweights here, talks about Wilder, interactions with Miller, you say that you're focused. Is it hard to stay focused, or do you find it easy with how long you've been in the game for?
Well, for me personally, it's not hard to stay focused at all. I'm fully locked in. I made a commitment in my life to stay locked in. And my main focus is on Otto Wallin now, and I'm going to perform, I'm going to do my job. I can definitely window shop. I know where I'm going in my life, but I've also got to stay. This is the checkpoint, and if I don't get past this, there is no future. So I'm fully locked into Otto Wallin and doing the job.
Thank you very much, Anthony. I've been told to wrap up this press conference. I'm sorry, some press will get their attention with Anthony, of course. Thank you to everyone at this top table. Frank, just a final word from yourself. Just a couple of words. Why should people buy this on Saturday night?
Because it's historical. It's going to be a fantastic boxing festival. This is going to be something extra special, and you're going to see the best fighting the best. And next year, the winners come through, they're going to be even in bigger fights. So tune in, watch it. Brilliant nights of boxing.
Let's get some face-offs. Thank you so much. Stick around.
That was a very interesting press conference, a lot more energetic than the first one. Look, here's a reminder of what's coming your way on Saturday. We kick things off with Frank Sanchez versus Junior Farr. Filip Hrgovic will take on Mark Demori. Jai Pataya versus Ellis Zorro. Arslanbek Makhmudov will meet Agit Kabayel. And then the big boys. Dimitri Bivol takes on Lyndon Arthur. Daniel Dubois, who had a few interesting words to say, will take on Jarrell Miller. Deontay Wilder, former WBC champion, will take on Joseph Parker. And former unified heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua, will main event against Otto Wallin. Absolutely stacked card. Make sure you buy the pay-per-view. Make sure you scan that QR code. You don't want to miss that, as we don't want to miss the face-offs as well. This is always the interesting part for me, because there'll be some that don't like doing the stare downs and some that have been waiting for this moment ever since the fights was announced. But I know Jarrell Miller's itching to do the face-off with Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, this is a good fight here. Bivol, Lyndon Arthur. We know how difficult this is for Lyndon Arthur, but look, it's his opportunity to show how good he is. We know how good Bivol is. Pressure on Bivol to look good, perform. Hasn't fought for over a year, but one of the marquee names in world boxing. He has it all to do, Arthur, but he has a fantastic jab, will to win, desire, and lots of belief in himself.
Indeed, indeed. Look, it's going to be a big ask, but I mean, you never know. But this is again, I've been saying it for the last couple of days. I think since this fight card was announced, this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. Just because I think there are so many question marks, and question marks in the heavyweight division, Sergio, mean excitement.
No, absolutely. Look, we know that Dubois can punch, but we also know that he's vulnerable. But the thing about Big Baby Miller, he has the mouth. He's a promoter's dream. That's the thing about boxing. Whether you back it up with your fist or you back it up with your mouth, you want to tune in. But look, this is it right here. This is one of the fights. Dubois is not a tough guy. He's not a tough guy, but I love what I'm seeing. I love the body language, and it's all in the eyes. Look at the eyes.
I love it.
Do not think in this fight it's going to be fireworks from the opening round.
I agree. That's almost got a perfect 5 or 6 rounds all over it. After that, I have absolutely no idea. But look, that's what we want. That's what we want. Jarrell Miller. Jarrell, you've had your turn, Jarrell. You've had your turn. Here we go, co-main event. A very intriguing fight, this one. Joseph Parker against Deontay Wilder. Should I say Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker? We don't know too much about Deontay. Hasn't been in the ring that many times in the last few years. The last time was only a round against Helenius, but we do know that right hand's a forehammer.
He can end the show in a split second. He is that dangerous, but 38 now. How is the punch resistance? Joe Parker looking as good as he's ever looked. I know Simon Keane is no Wilder, but still, you can only beat who's in front of you, and he's done it looking very, very impressive.
I love these stare downs. I'm like a little kid in a sweet shop. Look at this.
I like what I'm seeing with Joseph Parker too. Look, he looked leaner than before. He has the experience. I love what I'm seeing with the body language. He's not intimidated by the Bronze Bomber at all. That's going to be the sleeper of the night. If there's going to be an upset, that's it right there.
And then this one, the main event, Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin. Again, question marks, right? I mean, what I like about AJ in the lead up to this fight, this will be his third fight in 9 months. A lot of people say third fight in a year. No, it's better than that. Third fight in 9 months, incredible.
Yeah, that's real throwback stuff. That's fighting all the time. That's how you get your timing, your distance. And yeah, that's crucial with a guy like Wallin, who I said he's adaptable. He can fight on the front foot, on the back foot. He means business. But AJ looking solid, looking strong, powerful, full of self-belief. And yeah, it's another cracking fight on an absolute blockbuster of a bill.
It really is an absolute blockbuster bill, and we make it official tomorrow for the weigh-in. So make sure you do tune in, because you want to see it official. We need to see these guys on the scales. We need to see if Jarrell Miller's going to break the scale at 325 pounds. But what do you make of this little stare down very quickly, Daz?
Yeah, they both mean business. They both truly believe they're going to win this contest, and that's what makes it so intriguing. You've got an opponent here in Wallin that thinks he's going to rip up the script and make a name for himself, but AJ looking focused, looking powerful, ready and huge.
Yeah, they are reckoning not long to go. Weigh-ins tomorrow, so make sure you do tune in. That's 4 p.m. in the UK, 11 p.m. in the East Coast. So make sure you tune in. Day of Reckoning, getting closer to, I think, the greatest fight card we've seen in years. Should be a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.
Live on DAZN pay-per-view, December 23rd. Day of Reckoning. The sun is rising as the biggest names in boxing, Joshua versus Wilder, and Wilder versus Parker, headline a history-making boxing card. Down he goes. Witness the furnace of fight night. Reckoning is in the ring. Live on DAZN pay-per-view, December 23rd. Buy now at DAZN.com.